Hi, everyone. This is John Girardi, the Executive Director at Right to Life of Central California, with a Right to Life Minute, giving you a preview of what we're going to be talking about this Saturday on Right to Life Radio. You can catch Right to Life Radio every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. on Powertalk 96.7 and AM 1400. You can also watch the video of every episode right here on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/right-to-life-ca. You can also get the podcast of the show from Apple Podcasts or Stitcher. This week on the show, we're talking about two things: COVID vaccines and Javier Becerra. COVID vaccines. Right to Life of Central California and Bishop Joseph Brennan of the Roman Catholic Diocese here in Fresno released a joint statement basically giving moral guidance to Catholics throughout the San Joaquin Valley on the COVID vaccines that are likely to become available in the first quarter of 2021. And what we did in that document is basically lay out a lot of the moral principles of how we should think about it. A lot of vaccines are made using cells from cell lines that were ultimately derived from one or more children who were aborted. And there's a moral issue there. Just like buying a kidney from the black market, using cells from an aborted child has an ethical dimension to it that, am I just, by purchasing or a vaccine made with these cells, am I giving a sort of okay to the original act of abortion that ultimately yielded these cells that were used to make this vaccine? And basically giving the moral guidance that the Catholic Church gives for when that would be appropriate to use. And basically the Catholic Church teaches that if there is a serious and proportional health need that an individual or a child or a doctor prescribing stuff to patients faces, if there is a serious and proportional need and your only option available is a vaccine that includes these illicit materials, and you've repeatedly expressed your opposition to abortion and your support of this is very far removed, as it is for most end users, then it could be morally permissible to make use of a vaccine of that sort. So that's kind of the ethical guidance the Catholic Church gives. That's the super condensed version of it. I really encourage you to go to rtlcc.org to read the full document, the full 7-page document that we at Right to Life produced with the Bishop of Fresno for a fuller sort of account of it. We also gave some information, and you can read that information in the document also, about the various COVID vaccine options that are becoming available. And the better news being that the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines are not actually made with cells from any of those illicit cell lines. They used some of those cells in the testing phase, which is not great, but their connection to abortion is, as a result, very remote. This is not the case with the AstraZeneca or Johnson & Johnson vaccines, which are actually made with cells from those illicit lines. So what I would say is, if you think you have a serious proportional reason for wanting to take a COVID vaccine, whether because you're in an at-risk group or you work with people who are, or whatever the case may be, if you think you have a serious and proportional reason to use a vaccine, I would recommend using either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines, not the AstraZeneca vaccine. So we talked about that. We also talked about the nomination by Vice President Biden of Javier Becerra to be the new Secretary of Health and Human Services. This is an extremely alarming and terrible decision by Mr. Biden. Javier Becerra both has no qualifications to be the HHS secretary and is a rabid pro-choice zealot. So on the show, we're laying out all of the various ways in which Javier Becerra is an extremist on the abortion issue. Again, catch Right to Life Radio every Saturday morning, 9 to 10 on Powertalk 96.7 and AM 1400. Get the podcast, watch the show on YouTube, etc. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless.